Hey guys, welcome to my question and answer video vlog. I finally have the time to do this today. It is a pajama day, so I'm gonna have to apologize that I definitely needed to. I don't know, on the weekends I typically try to not wear makeup just so my face can breathe and all of that. So no makeup on today. Sorry about that, but I love my pajama days and I still wanted to get this video together. So basically I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go over all the questions and I'll try to answer them in detail and stuff like that. It's probably gonna be, I don't know, maybe a little bit longer of a video than usual, I'm guessing. We'll see though, we'll see how it goes. Alright, so, oh, also I didn't even put these in any particular order. I kind of just wrote them down as they came in, and I'm pretty sure that I did get them all. If I didn't, I apologize, and you can let me know in the comments below. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first question is, how did you come up with your channel name? So my channel name is Mogchi. It's basically an alias that I had since maybe 13 or 14 years old, a very, very long time. Basically, without sounding too nerdy, I'm like a gamer. Like I do like to game. I've cut back a lot now that I'm older. I have carpal tunnel issues, so I don't do it as much as I used to, but one of my favorite games growing up was Final Fantasy IX. I loved that game. I played it all the time, and there are these things called Moogles. They're super, super cute, and basically they all have like the name Mog and then something after it. So like it'll be like all kinds of different variations of Mog, and there was one I think called Mogchi, and I kind of took that from it because it was like not a very common character or something, but I just kind of stole it and then went with it, and I still had it for most of my life. It's just like my little online alias, I guess you could say. So that's pretty much, yeah, that's how I got my channel name. It's kind of weird and cheesy, but I also excuse me, I also love it at the same time. The next question is, how did you meet your husband? And this is kind of, it's hard not to go into too much detail about this one because of course I can talk about it forever. But funny that the question's here because today is our anniversary, 8-year wedding anniversary and 10-year together. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you guys are wondering why I look like this on my anniversary, but my husband is having a really, really hard day today anyway. He slept most of the day because he's just been very ill. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that he has an autoimmune disease, and that's why this whole trying to conceive thing was so hard. But basically, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I fed him something yesterday or what, but he's really sick, so he's been sleeping all day, so we're not really doing anything for our anniversary. We did get pedicures, though, Friday, I believe? No, Thursday. And I hate pedicures because they hurt really, really bad for me. But I like the after, and we did that together, so that was kind of cool. We did do that for each other. Anyway, so how I met him, basically, I met him when I was probably around 13 years old. He was my best friend's brother. My best friend, he is gay, so that's the reason why me and him never like had anything going on there. But I would always joke around like, oh, hey, I'm gonna marry your older brother so I can be part of the family for real, you know. When you're little, you have a crush on everybody, but he was a lot older than me. So, I mean, I met him, I knew him, but I was way too young, and he was already, I think, in his early 20s at that point, so he just probably thought of me as some crazy family friend at that point. But you know, I did think he was cute and stuff, and I did joke around about, you know, marrying him and all of that, but it wasn't really until I was of age that anything happened. When I was 19, while I was dating somebody else, he had come back to visit from California, so he came back to Nevada, he visited. He was going through some hard times, and he found out that I was dating somebody that was kind of not really an acceptable person to date. I don't know if I want to really get into detail about that, but basically he wasn't happy with who I was dating and stuff, and I would always go over to my best friend's house all the time, so he ended up being there since he was visiting, and he saw me and I saw him, and we pretty much like had a thing right away. But yeah, we just had a lot in common, and we're both really into gaming and the internet, and basically at that point he kind of, like, I guess stole me from my boyfriend at the time, which we were together for 2 years, and I did live with him, and I was only 19. But he ended up, no, I ended up calling him while I was at work one Saturday, and it was really cool because it was like really slow for some odd reason. Usually Saturdays were busy. I was working in an auto parts store at the time. I delivered auto parts. It was one of my first jobs. And anyway, so I called him pretending, I don't even know why I called him, but I called him pretending that I had a question about a website that we were looking at the last time I went over. And we pretty much kind of just skipped right over that, and it was like the most normal, easy conversation I've ever had with anyone over the phone. I have severe phone anxiety. I do not like talking to people on the phone. It's gotten way worse over the years, but at that time I still didn't like talking to people over the phone. I don't know what compelled me to call him, but it was very easy, normal. Even though I was kind of nervous, it was just very easy, and we had so much to talk about. And ever since I called him, I think it was like a 3 or 4 hour period, I had no customers. Like, I had nobody who wanted auto parts. So like, I just sat there while I was getting paid, which is totally not like me. I'm like not a lazy worker, but I talked the whole time, and we just talked about everything. And then, I mean, without really saying anything, we kind of just got into more personal stuff about relationships. And, you know, I kind of asked him, it's weird now, but I asked him, you know, if he wanted kids. He said maybe if it was with the right person, which is kind of a generic response, I think. And then I asked him some other stuff about religion and stuff like that. And I don't know, we kind of just, without saying anything, we knew that we were going to get together. And I basically told him I was going to go home tonight and break up with my boyfriend, and I was going to go move in with him. So before we even started dating, I moved in with him. I just knew he was the one after just being around him after 1 week. I think I called my mom and told her I found the one. I'm going to marry this guy. We're going to go move in together. I mean, I knew it was more than infatuation. It was just, we had everything in common, and he was just, I don't know, he was just great. Anyway, so that's how we met. We've been together now 10 years. That was 10 years ago that Saturday happened or whatever. But yeah, he ended up telling me that he did have a crush on me back in the day when I was young, but I was way too young. And he had come and visited many times, so he had seen me when I was 16 and 17 and all of that, but he was in his 20s. He is 8 years older than me, so yeah, that would have been inappropriate, so of course he never did anything about it. But he ended up asking his mom about me from time to time, and I did the same. I ended up asking her, like, hey, how's Josh doing? I hear he has a girlfriend, and I would get jealous. Anyway, so that's that. I knew that one would take a while because, you know, it's just a really sweet moment. So the next question, I'll just go ahead and kind of go to the next one. How many kids do you think you'll have? We probably are only going to have one. This was really hard to do to begin with. My husband kind of, as time went on, even though originally we kind of wanted kids, I was going through school, and he has his medical conditions, and we are big planners, and I wanted everything done before I even thought of kids. So at one point we kind of thought maybe we didn't want kids, or it wasn't going to happen because we just had too much going on. So he kind of didn't want any. When we got together, I wanted 2. So I guess we're going to compromise probably at just 1, which is fine with me. I don't even have room for 2. I don't know how people can afford it, first of all. I don't have space. I don't want them to share a room if they're like opposite sex. They'd end up having to share a room because I'm not giving up my computer room. I know it sounds silly, but we spend most of our time in our computer room. We have 2 computers in there, and it's like our hangout zone. We don't even spend time in the living room or anything. So yeah, not giving up the room. And also, it was really, really, I'm sure if you guys read my one of my first videos, our story or whatever, this whole process of getting pregnant was a miracle and really hard for him and for me emotionally, him physically. So this is probably going to be it unless something crazy happens or some miracle happens. But he will probably end up getting a vasectomy. So yes, just 1, and I'm going to love that one child so much. Also, the next question is, are there names you wanted or loved that you won't use but would like to share? So yes, there were a few names in the beginning that we kind of talked about. For a boy, one of them was Colin, and for a girl, originally we both loved Lydia when we first got together, and then as the years passed by, we just kind of, I don't know, Lydia just came and went. I liked Violet, he didn't like Violet. I liked Avery, he didn't like Avery. My favorite, and I thought if I had a boy, when I was little, I always thought I was going to name him Jonas, like for sure, 100% Jonas, because I love Weezer, and they have this one song, and it's Jonas, and anyway, I loved it until Jonas Brothers came along. Once Jonas Brothers happened, like back, I don't know how many years back in the day, I was like, dang it just ruined it. So that kind of came and went. And then a few questions from here. It asks about, like, do we have a name picked out? So I'll go over that. But those are the names that we talked about that we're not using. Next question. Have you always wanted kids? So this I kind of answered a little bit. Mostly, I personally have wanted kids. I thought it would happen. But as I got older and I realized how fast life was going, I was starting to think that maybe I didn't want kids because it goes by so fast. I always figured it would just take longer to get to this point. I wanted kids by the time I was 26. I will be 30 when I give birth to this one. Just because time flies, you know, you're going to school, you're making yourself a life. It just went by so fast, honestly. So I think that was really shocking. My husband, he pretty much thought he would probably never have kids. He had a pretty hard upbringing, like with his father and stuff, had some issues. So he didn't really think he would be a good father, so he didn't really want any. So our next question is, what is your birth plan? You want pain meds or no pain meds? So, I mean, I haven't really gone in detail yet because I still have to meet with my doula, and I'm going to do that probably at the end of this month. So I don't have like a set birth plan, but I do know that I do not want any pain meds or any meds for that matter. I would give birth at my house, except for the closest hospital is like 35 minutes away, so that's not going to happen. But, I don't know. I can probably talk about this for a while, but basically I don't want an epidural for a few reasons. First of all, I do not do well with pain medication, or any medication for that matter. I hardly ever take medication to begin with. I do have a pretty high pain tolerance. I know childbirth is probably no comparison to anything that I've ever gone through, but like when I had my wisdom teeth pulled, I didn't have any medication, I didn't want any medication, I was fine. I don't even think I took ibuprofen, I was just fine. I mean, yeah, they were sore, it hurt, but I mean, it wasn't bad. I even had a french fry that night after. Anyway, I also had my appendix removed, and before I had it removed, before the surgery, without them even asking or telling me, when I was in the emergency room, they gave me Dilaudid. They didn't even like ask me or tell me. They just, from my knowledge, I believe, they just gave it to me. And that's when I started panicking. My husband's like, what did you do to my wife? She doesn't do very well with pain medication. She never takes anything. I don't even drink or anything like that. So like things affect me more strongly than other things. And so like my breathing slowed really, really bad. I started getting anxiety. I thought I was going to die because I couldn't breathe. Like that was way worse than the pain. Like all of those other side effects were horrible. Like it was one of the worst experiences ever. So once they transferred me to a different hospital, I ended up going in an ambulance, all this crazy stuff. I told them there, like, after the surgery, I do not want any pain medication at all. You can do fluids, that's it, no pain medication. And I was fine. Yes, it hurt. Did I need pain medication? No. I was sore, I just tried not to move as much. I mean, I'd rather feel the pain than not be able to breathe, not be able to feel stuff. It makes me really anxious and paranoid. I have problems with paranoia and being anxious, so like, yeah, it just makes it worse. So I was thinking with the epidural, I know a lot of people say you can't feel like from the waist below, you can't feel the pushing, and I just have a feeling I would have a really, really bad reaction to it, and it would scare me more, and I don't want to be scared. So I really don't want it for that reason. And then also, I did read that it could increase your chance for like a C-section or something, if like the baby's heart rate gets too low, and I'm thinking if I have it and I panic and freak out, maybe it will make the baby's heart rate get too low, like because I'm panicking. So I mean, there's all these things. So I'm like, I would rather just not do it. And then afterwards, the recovery time is a lot quicker if you don't have the epidural, because I can hopefully get up and walk, even though it's gonna hurt, because I can feel my legs, and hopefully I can leave the hospital faster. So those are the reasons I don't want an epidural. And that's the reason why I got a doula, so hopefully she can help me through the pain with some other techniques that I don't know about, and also just for her to keep me calm during the process and tell me everything that I'm feeling is normal, and hopefully I can get through each contraction. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people go in with this plan and it doesn't work, but I mean, C-section is just, if I get a C-section, it's just hard. My husband doesn't want me to do that because of the recovery time and walking around, and yeah, he basically wants me to help as much as I can with babies. So, I mean, if it happens, obviously it happens, and in the end, you just want a healthy baby, of course. And it's weird, some people actually want to have a C-section. I've met patients of mine who have scheduled C-sections all the time just because they prefer it. I've had one patient tell me that when she was little, her mom made her go watch her aunt's birth or whatever, and it was a vaginal birth, and she said ever since she saw that, she knew right away she just wanted C-section. So all of her kids, she just had C-section. She never even tried vaginal. She just scheduled it, and that's totally fine. If you're into that, cool, like do it. But I'm not into that. Freaks me out. The cutting open, they take your organs out and like put them in a bowl. Like, oh my gosh, like, oh, all those things freak me out. Like, I just freak out about stuff. And that is what I would be thinking about if I had a C-section. So anyway, I know it's really not in my control, but that is my plan. And my mother did have 3 vaginal births. I don't think that she had any pain medication either back then, maybe some muscle relaxers. So I'm hoping that I can do it. My sister had also 4 natural births. I mean, she had epidural with some of them, I believe, not all of them. But they were all vaginal as well. So, I mean, you never know. My husband has a freaking huge head. I'm very petite. We'll see what happens, but that's my plan. And I don't want to offend anybody or anything like that, but that's how I feel about it. Next question. What gender are you hoping for? Well, if you saw my last video, you know I'm having a boy, but both me and my husband did originally want a girl. Several reasons for that. Boys are more likely to have chromosomal issues and autoimmune diseases. My husband already has 2 autoimmune diseases, so we worry about passing it on. And also the chromosomal defects and stuff like that. Boys are just more likely to have those things, so that worries us. Also, there's that circumcision thing. Now we have to deal with that. And with a girl, it just would have been easier, would have just put our mind at peace a little. If it wasn't for the chromosomal issues and the circumcision and all that, I personally would have probably preferred a boy, because I get along better with boys and I think they're cute and awesome, and I love dinosaurs and monsters and stuff. But my husband really wanted a girl because he never had, well, he did have some father figures growing up, but he never actually had his biological father as a father figure growing up. So he just thought if he had a girl, he would bond better with the girl and just not have any of those issues, I guess. So he really, really wanted a girl, but I think he's like trying to like hopefully make it, I don't know, I think he's trying to get excited about it, but he's still a little bit bummed. But I mean, we just found out, so yeah, I'm sure once baby's here, he'll get over it. Oh, and he also worries that the boy will be a terror like him, because he supposedly was a terror, smeared like poop on the wall, crazy stuff like that. I was the easiest baby, so I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, everybody's different, whether it's girl or boy. They say boys are easier, but not in all cases. Josh's mom told me that her easiest was her girl, her only girl. So I mean, I think it just depends on the person. You just never know what you're gonna get. Next question. Do you have any names picked out? So yes, we do have names picked out. If it was a girl, another reason why we wanted a girl, we loved our girl name so much. It was so near and dear to us. It was going to be Clara Faye. Clara is his grandfather's aunt or great aunt who helped take care of him, something like that. Her name was Clara. We have her on our wall downstairs with a whole bunch of old family pictures. And also Doctor Who Clara. We love Clara. It's beautiful. And it's a C. And my name's a C. So that would have been fun. Faye is the middle name of his mother, and we thought it was beautiful, and originally we wanted that as the first name. So we just loved that name altogether. Totally wanted it. We were set on it. Boy names was really hard for us to come up with, but we did pick one. It's like set in stone. We are going to name him Darren Frederick. Darren is a very, very, very good friend of ours who was a biologist. He loved nature. He loved the environment. He loved the mountains. He was one of the coolest people I have ever met in my life. And sadly, he passed away in an avalanche shortly after me and my husband got married, so he was able to attend the wedding. But he passed away skiing, doing what he loved. He loves to ski. But it was really, really sad, and we think about him all the time, and he was just a great person. So because we could not find any boy names, my husband mentioned it. I was like, yes, let's do it. Love that name, love that person. He was great. Let's do that, you know, to honor him. So Darren is the first name. And then Frederick is the middle name. It is my husband's grandfather's name. And that was kind of like my husband's father figure growing up. And they're very close. And he is still alive today, so we did tell him that we're using his name. He's very happy about that. So yeah. Also, Darren means little great one. So I think that's really cute as well. So yeah. Next question. We are probably a little over halfway, just to let you know. I'm not sure how long it's been, but it's probably been a while. Do you plan on breastfeeding? Okay, yes, of course I plan on breastfeeding. I'm all about trying to give baby what's, you know, best. But I have a lot of issues. I don't really know how to describe it, but I just have very, I mean TMI, but I have very, very, very sensitive nipples, like so sensitive, like all the time. Now that I'm pregnant, they're more sensitive than they were before, so that scares me more. My doula said that it's totally different when it comes to feeding your baby versus like in bed type of things. So I'm hoping that that's true, and I'm hoping I can get over it. I think it's more mental. Honestly, I think it's mental, but I do not like anything touching or messing with them ever. So that's going to be an issue. I'm going to try to work through it. I do plan on getting the pump from my insurance, and I started my registry today. It's so exciting now that we know the sex. But yeah, I put like the breastfeeding stuff on there and all of that, so I'm hoping that I can do it. I'm gonna give it a try. They say the first 2 weeks is the hardest, so knowing that when I start will probably help. I'm gonna try to give it more than 2 weeks at least, to just give it my all, even if it kills me. So I do plan on doing that. If you guys have any tips or anything, any tips or products or anything for breastfeeding, let me know, because like that honestly is something I'm really worried about. My husband doesn't think that I can do it because he knows how sensitive it is for me. So yeah, any tips, greatly would appreciate that. Next question, have you ever considered daily vlogs or blogs? No, I have not considered that because it's so hard for me to just sit down and do this, even though I'm not super, super busy. I don't know, it's just really hard for me to find the time, and my internet sucks, you guys. When I have to upload these videos, it takes me hours. Like, I'm talking, like, this video is long, so it's probably gonna take me like 3 or 4 hours to upload because I don't have very good internet here in the mountains. I do not have high speed. So like, it takes up a lot of internet and a lot of time to upload. The filming is fine for the most part. I mean, I don't like it when I'm in my pajamas and I have to film, but I mean, I'm starting to get used to it. It's fine. But yeah, I don't think that I will do that, but I am going to take some time off of work when the baby's here, and I mean, if I wasn't working, I would probably do more, like maybe 3 times a week max would probably be something that I could do. Next question is, do your friends and family know that you vlog? Some know. I know that my mother-in-law, my husband's mother, she watches, and my husband watches. And I think that's pretty much it for my friends. I might have one other friend all the way in Georgia. He might watch every now and then, I'm not sure, but pretty much nobody else really watches. They kind of know about it, but they're kind of weirded out, like, why would you do that? And I don't think that they really care, honestly, which is fine. I first started doing this for myself, you know, because I was like, this is going to be my only pregnancy. I want to remember it. I want to document it and just everything, you know? So, and then it kind of grew into like a support system for me. And once that happened and I started having people follow and ask questions and stuff like that, it was just really cool to get feedback and advice and tips and all of this support when I did have a miscarriage. So like, I love it. And it kind of makes me feel like I have like a little pocket of friends kind of scattered around, and they're like perfect friends because I don't have to call them on the phone. Like, I have issues with the phone, but texting is fine. But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of cool. I feel like you guys are all my friends. I love it. Next question. How has pregnancy impacted your sex drive? Well, it's impacted it a lot. I feel bad for my husband. I pretty much have no sex drive at all whatsoever. My books say that once you're in the second trimester, it's supposed to come back. It never really came back. It's kind of weird because when we were trying to conceive and when I went off the pill, my sex drive like skyrocketed. It was like crazy. When I was on the pill, I didn't really have a sex drive either. But now that I'm pregnant, it's like back to being on the pill. It's like my body's like, I'm cool. I got what I needed. It sucks because before we got pregnant, when we were trying, we were very active to try to get pregnant, you know, more active than we've been in a long time. So I feel like we went from like, you know, being really intimate all the time, like at least 3 to 4 times a week, to now once a month maybe. I mean, if that, I don't even know. It might be less, it might be more. Not a lot, not a lot. I'm very sorry, Josh. Will you be staying home or go back to work after the baby? So I plan on taking at least 3 months off. It is paid for. I have insurance that will pay for it for me for 3 months, or it's supposed to. We'll find out. And the way that I get paid, my pay system, I kind of get commission a little bit. And since I'm going to be taking time off, I'll still get part of my commission stuff. So I will have a little bit of money coming in, not as much as usual, but a little bit. So for 3 months, we should be good. If I can go longer financially, I would. At this point, we don't know if my husband's going back to work. If he does go back to work, I mean, he's very sick, so I highly doubt that he's going to go back to work. But if he does, even if it's temporary, then I will stay here still while he goes back to work. But eventually, I do need to go back. So I'm probably thinking 3 months. If my husband goes back to work, maybe I'll stay home 6 months. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I wish it was longer. I am one who never thought I would want to be a stay-at-home mom, but if that possibility were to ever happen, I would kind of want that, at least for the first year. But, I mean, we're just going to play it by ear. Either I have to work or he has to work. One of us is going to work. I don't think both of us are going to work. I mean, I highly doubt it. If we do, then, I mean, obviously we'd probably do daycare, but at this point, probably just one of us is going to work. Next question, will you use cloth or disposable diapers? So, I don't know if you guys have heard of G diapers, but that's what I plan on using mostly, is the G diaper. I've never used it, but I have seen videos on it. Basically what it is it's kind of like a combination of a cloth diaper, but a disposable, unless you want the cloth inserts, but basically, it's like cloth on the outside, and then you have these inserts that go in that can be disposable, or you can compost them, or you can flush them down the toilet. Or if you get the cloth inserts, and you can use cloth that way. But we're going to try the disposable ones. And then also, we'll probably do a combination of that and disposable, just because I'm pretty sure at the baby shower, people are still going to bring me regular old disposable diapers, which is fine. We'll just kind of use both, but the G diapers, they're just more economical, and I know that disposable diapers, they pretty much will still be there after I pass away or after the baby passes, and that's kind of sad that they'd still be there, you know. It takes them forever to biodegrade, so we want to leave the least impact as possible. And the next question, my last question, do you have any nursery themes? And when I wrote this answer, I said none yet because I didn't know the sex, but I knew I wanted to do neutral or gray. But now that we know the sex, I do have a theme. It is going to be gray and white chevron stripes, and I'm super excited about that. Most of my house is gray. We love gray. Gray is just an awesome, I'm wearing gray. I wear a lot of gray. I love gray. So I'm excited for that. And the chevron stripes reminds us of Twin Peaks. I don't know if you guys have seen that show, like back in like the early 90s, I think it was. It's a really, really awesome show, except for their chevron stripes were actually like red and black. But anyway, we thought that that would be cool. So my husband agreed on that. We're gonna do that. And I love like baby gray elephants, but my husband says no, he doesn't like elephants. So boo on elephants. And so then I asked him about like silver stars. He says stars are okay. So we might add a little bit of like stars here and there in the nursery too. But I'm so excited. I have 3 colors that I'm gonna go this week and buy the samples of so I can paint on the wall. And I think that I'll try to upload that so you guys can see and kind of vote on what you like best, because I thought that would be fun. I don't know. I just thought it would be fun to see what you guys thought too. But those are all my questions. If I missed any, let me know in the comments below and I'll answer directly. But this video was super, super fun to film. I love getting to know you guys and vice versa. I think it's really cool to have like this little trying to conceive community. It's been awesome so far. Thank you guys so much for all of the questions. And I think that that's it. Yeah. So I guess I'll see you guys for my next video next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.